Good morning, everyone. Oh, no, it's not morning. Good afternoon, everyone. This is an exciting training. We got Jason, the man here. He was our first person. How many agents did we have when we first started working?
77.
77 agents, and now we're over 3,000. He's been our go-to. There's a lot of great print shops out there, but the only one I trust is here, right? He was with us when we first started Lifestyle 11 years ago, and he's still here. This is a training that I want you guys to, and sorry guys, when I'm not looking at you because I'm looking at the camera, so it might be a little weird. This is why it's kind of hard. But I always tell people, you could be a great agent and you just door knock or you use leads or you work your circle of influence. But having direct mail, I always tell people when you close a closing, let's just say you made a $10,000 check. In your mind, you always want to put 10 to 15% of that money away to reinvest into your marketing. Sometimes people say, how? Maybe it's you start paying for leads as you get, if you're so busy and you have a team or you want to work leads because it's a little bit tougher. But leads are very inconsistent. I spent $20,000 in leads in Jersey and we still haven't closed one, right? In 3 or 4 months. Not saying that it won't close, but it's down the road. The one that is tried and tested, guaranteed, pretty much locked. And I'm going to even show you my own testimonials, $1 million listing to have. And I don't know if Agustin is here, but we have so many individuals that spend a small amount, from $5,000 to $20,000 a year in every door direct mail, and they're making an extra $150,000 to $250,000. This is probably one of the best ones that it's listings, right? And a lot of times you'll get buyers too because they'll see your flyer and like, man, you were looking to buy, but usually listings. We're going to talk about how it looks on Jason's side. Jason could actually do the every door direct mail from Miami. He's in Miami, and he could do direct mail for all the states. But I'm just going to give you the basis of what direct mail is. But I'm giving you my testimonial is that it's the best investment that you do to when you go to a listing and you show them like, hey, any other realtor can list your property, but I'm already going to invest in you before you even list. So like we have a listing, me and him, and I'll show you now on the screen that first I did a listing on my own in it. And yes, your broker still sells here and there, right? If you call me and you want to list a house, I'm still your guy. But working buyers, I really don't do buyers anymore because I'm still running the brokerage. But if it's a listing, I'll do it. That listing was a $1.3 million listing that I had in South Miami. I'm going to show it to you guys on the screen now. Actually, I'll show it to you while we're here. Share screen. And where is it? Where's my browser on here? It should be, is it? Where is it? Share screen, I guess. Wait, what? All right, so you guys are seeing my screen here. You guys are seeing? Okay, so this was one I actually added him in on this, but this is a listing. This house, I originally sold it, and then I send the direct mail, right? I added him in, and because now she's helping me with that listing, a new listing that I got, but I've already sold 2 in that neighborhood. So figure, and I'll give you the numbers. When I sold this, it was a buddy of mine that I've known since younger, but this guy was one of these people that have been telling me for 8 years he wants to sell his home, and it's always a waste of time. And I told him, bro, when you're ready to list the house, you let me know. And he had ended texting, and I brushed him off. Bro, you're not ready. Long story short, he was ready. Thank God I didn't brush him off, and I got the listing. I sold this house for 1.3. He wanted 1.1, but that's not even the topic of conversation. When I listed that property, I did a just listed. This was one I did after the fact to get more profit. I did a just listed. For you guys that know, I always have my phone on do not disturb because how many calls do you guys get? Raise your hand up. We're selling insurance in your area. You're the best realtor we want. We want to give you 35% thing for free. If you guys get 5 of them a day, I get 50 because I get it from all the states. They text me as an agent in all these states. So luckily, I get a text message like, hey, are you the realtor? And I was about to brush it off, right? And I go, yes. I was very rude. Yes. Oh, cool, because I got one of your flyers and I wanted to sell my house. All of a sudden, good morning. It's me, George Canciobello. Oh, my pleasure to meet you. How blessed are you? So long story short, one of the things before we even talk about this EDDM, and I'll tell you the financials, when you do an EDDM, every call is pretty much a listing appointment. You might get 0 calls on your first one, but I assure you on your second, third, and fourth, when you do your farm, sometimes you get 3 calls. There's people that have done 1 EDM and gotten 3 listing appointments from it. And most of the time you're going to a listing appointment, you're getting it. So on this house, I did my commission. It was like a $40-something thousand commission. I did it EDM. It cost me like $350 or $450. and I got a listing from that. I sold that, and that it was a lesser price one, it was $1 million. So, and it was like a 2.5. I made like 28,000 on it. Boom. So then from another call called me, and I had him in, I helped me with this one. I got another listing. We're listing another house in the neighborhood for 1.3. I did two EDDM drops. I spent $1,000, and I literally could say the 25,000. And now when we sell this house, is 1.3 is going to be another $50,000 with $1,000 investment. We have Rick Garcia. We have many other people. Rick Garcia spends $20,000 a year. He has it on autopilot. So every month you could go to Jason and say, hey, Jason, I want to spend $500 a month. This is my farm, and I want you to send it out every time. And if you look here, it has for sale or just sold. He could pull the comp for you. So it's like autopilot. Whereas if you were to work leads, you got to go calls, you got to do this, you got to do follow up. Here's when you get this call, it's pretty much money, right? And in this market, it's going to be crazier. No inventory staying, the rates are going down. So every door direct mail. Now, what else does it do? When you sit down there and you sit down and somebody, you say, hey, listen, this is what I've done for others. And now you have a portfolio of things you've done for your seller. So it's very key. Like, and you guys are seeing on the screen, these are different. This is the original one that I did, right? And that got me $1 million lead. And I did it when I sold it. Boom. And I put just listing. And guys, yes, I know I didn't have a beard there. And I always make fun of realtors that I've been using the same headshot for 13 years. I promise you, my glamour shot is going to get updated this year. But yes, I've been using the same headshot. So don't give me an excuse like, oh, I don't like my picture. I don't know. But you got to have a picture because you want somebody to like feel it's you, right? So that was that. And these are just other examples. Oh, Natalie, look, you're on there. I saw you in the car. Natalie just did one with Jason. There's other ones we just did it for Jenny. And he has $1 million. You could always put people. And cool trick, everybody. Reach out to your title companies, reach out to your mortgage companies and co-brand, and they can help you with the cost. They're really not going to get, maybe they put a little thing like refinance your houses because maybe you get an EDDM because you want to have value in your direct mail. You don't want it just to be just listed all the time, which that is perfect. But you may want to say something like, hey, if you bought a house in the last 2 years and your rates is over 5.5%, call us now to refi and save hundreds of dollars on your mortgage or cash out. So you want to put another like step for them to call you. I had put another one. This is an older one from Jimena. And remember, if you guys know in Florida, we have a moving company that I used to own, but now we refer it out to one of our agents that's a third generation mover. But before, so you get two EDDMs, one from Omi, and Omi just has his face on it, and then mine on it. They're going to say Omi's more handsome, but mine gives you a free move. And I put a little star thing at the bottom. You guys can see. Let me put it bigger for everybody. I put, because what happened one time, somebody had like a 6-bedroom. Hey, you said a free move. And I had to eat that $3,000 cost. But I put up to 3-bedroom move. And that was usually for me, I'm getting a 10, 15, $20,000 listing, and I'll spend like $1,500 on a move all day. So you want to always put your EDDM, and Jason can design it the way you want it. You always want to have like pain points, and you want to have the attraction of it they sell. And most of the time, and I'm going to stop the screen share right now. Most of the time, when the first person gets your EDDM, and I have multiple ones here, right? Jason brought a whole marketing kit. Hopefully soon we can send Jason to other offices to do it. So you guys everybody got free swag here. You're going to go, this is your first EDDM. You send it today. They get it. Who's this? This is Tally. They get it. They look at it, bro. And the best day, Jason, what would you say is Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Traditionally, they drop it off Monday or Tuesday.
Reason for that, what do we all do when we get mail? We don't check our mail on the weekend because we're busy. You check it on Monday. And what do you get in mail? A bunch of advertisement, a little mail. You're throwing everything out. Now, Tuesday and Wednesday, that mailbox is clean. So the only thing that's coming is boom, right? So there's different sizes. Jason does it. Miguel just did this one. Miguel did a record break. And so you see comparative to the sizes, sometimes you want to do it over. You're always going to want to switch it up, the strategy. So long story short, people have testimony that there's a few people that do it very well. Like I told you, Rick Garcia makes an extra 150 to 180,000 a year. So this is where you got to incorporate to your business. You might be selling right now 2 to 7 million on your own, and that's an amazing thing, right? But then you say, okay, but I need to do the WhatsApp broadcast list. That's going to bring me an extra million or two. But direct mail, if you just do 12 pieces a year, I could assure you from $4 to $8 million in sales volume extra a year. Because at worst, you're going to get 6, 7, 8 listings and maybe a couple buyers. And what happens is the first one, don't get discouraged if the first one doesn't give you a call. Sometimes you get 3 calls. So the big testimonial, also the big alert, like I told you to drop the mail on Tuesday or Wednesday, make sure you answer your phone. You can't ever get a missed call. And I'm going to show you guys another hack. Remind me of call reel. What I like to do with every door direct mail is I put a call reel number. So like if right now you call me and I forget, we're all busy doing showings, you might forget to return that missed call. But I do a new number on call reel and it costs you $25 a month and you can add 3 new lines. So when you get that call, it logs who called you. It also rings on your phone. And at the end of the day, end of the week, it could check, oh my God, I forgot to call this person at the end of the day, or it could be the next day. So make sure you answer your phone. If you have Android, like I always say, please leave the room. Who has Android? Raise your hand here. Oh, get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. If you got T-Mobile or Cricket Wireless, maybe you want to go to AT&T and Verizon if you want to update that, because when you're out of service, if they call you, and this is money, when this phone rings, you think in your mind $10,000 to $30,000 or more, right? Depending on your farm. You think you miss a call, you're done. But that's why I like using call reel, which I'll show you at the end, because you're going to log every single call. When we do billboards, when we do bench shelter ads, you want to make sure you have a number just for that. So, and also when you pick up the phone, it tells you this is a call from Every Door Direct Mail Route 2, and you know which routes. Another strategy that Jason and I use, where I was trying to, the best farm, Levon Beck, on his parents' house. He's team-wise, everything, 80, $90 million sales a year. $20 million a year comes from $20 million in sales, give or take, a year, which is figure four to $700,000 of commission just from direct mail. In his parents' neighborhood, his farm, he does the direct mail every single month. His parents' neighborhood, he sold 56 homes, and those homes are priced from 800 to 1.2 million. So you may want to farm your own neighborhood. You may want to farm, you may just do an EDDM on every place you have a listing. Even if you don't have listings, go on lifestyle. Hey, George, Omi has a listing or Miguel has a luxury listing in Miami Beach or wherever it may be in Jersey, Charlotte, and Denver, and say, hey, I want to use your listing for branding. We're never going to say no to you. You got to be careful, because one time in Jersey, you could use other close sales, because you're not saying this was sold by me. You're just saying just sold in your neighborhood, and you're just putting addresses so people can know. But a lot of times it's good to put pictures of a property. And even if you don't have a listing in that area, call the agent and be like, hey, listen, Omi, man, I saw your listing. Is it okay if I market it to see it? 8 out of 10 realtors are going to tell you, yeah, it's fine. That's cool. But in other states, one time we did it that they just put the property address and a broker got mad at it. I don't care. Do it. Just do it the right way. So you don't have to go through. It's only happened one time in 11 years with thousands of transactions. So the farming, so it's either you pick a farm so they're consistent, because the first piece of mail, they're going to do this. And I love doing this. They're going to go, okay, bro, this guy, Jason, keeps emailing me. Second time it comes on the mail, like, man, this agent's persistent. Third month, they're like, man, and we got Sip from the NFL, one of our guys here. Sip is consistently doing, that's how Sip is getting all these multi deals on top of his referrals. They get the third one and say, you know what? Let me file it in the drawer. I think we're selling, we're not ready, but if they were ready, we're going to do it because this person is in my box every day. They're going to, and you know what the great thing about EDDM, everybody? When you start door knocking this neighborhood too, they know your face. Are you, Omi, you're the person that keeps spamming my house with spam, man. You got to stop that. But that's an amazing thing. You already got your foot in the door. They know your face. They know that you invest into your business. You're not just any realtor that says, hey, I want to list your house. They know that this neighborhood is your home. That's why I always say, if it's be your house, your friend's house, your family's house, Rick Garcia he has a community of townhomes. Where's that community in Pines that he always does? Townhomes. They're all 400. By the time he was farming, it was like 250. He's on the HOA board there because he ended up buying an investment property. He is the king of his neighborhood. So he knows if you guys could, another tip, if you could get on your homeowner's board, get on it, because you know when the divorces are coming, you know when the new people move in. Yeah, you see, like you want to make sure you know all of that, because that's going to keep you in tune with the neighborhood. And now you should get upset. All of you guys should get upset when somebody in your neighborhood there's a sign and it's not your face. Raise your hand here if you've been in your house, your parents' house, whoever it may be, and you see a sign next door and it's not you. Raise your hand on the Zooms. Come on. You see, and that's only just contact. But I'll tell you what, you could be that person that's door knocking and they know who you are because you've knocked it and you're doing open houses. But if you would have dropped 3 or 4 pieces of mail, unless it was like maybe it was their brother or cousin or wife or something, you would have been that person. So this helps you get more listings and get listings out of nowhere. Whereas if you do, work buyers all the time is great, but managing your listings is a lot easier, and you could do 10 listings at one time and you don't have to be running around everywhere. So I've talked a lot. I just want to go direct to the point. Jason's going to show you now how it works. So I'm going to use my listing, right, that I did. Let me share my screen again, guys. Share screen. Here. Okay. Jason's going to show you. Let me give you the address, Jason. That way you can just plug it in. I'm going to copy and paste the address here. So Jason's going to take over right here. So Jason, go ahead.
Okay, so there are basically two types of mailings. EDDM, which George talked about a lot, is the most economical. The postage is cheaper. You don't need a mailing list. You do have to hit a certain area. So we'll go over that. The second one is basically a mailing list. A mailing list works good when you have a targeted list. So sometimes with EDDM, a route, and you'll see what a route is huge. So like you wanted to hit just one building, the EDDM will have 6 buildings in the route. To get that lower postage, you do have to hit all 6 buildings. So there are times you're going to say, you know what, I want to farm this building, this community, and we could do it with a mailing list. Again, I'll show you pricing. Pricing's more because of the postage, but if you don't want to hit 2,000 people, you want to hit 500 in one building, it makes sense to do a mailing list. So we could do either. But like George said, it's about consistency, really, and doing this, being seen. It's like out of sight, out of mind. Okay, let me go out to the outline tool. They can see this on the.
Yeah, they can see it behind you.
So we'll put the address that you gave me.
Just copy and paste. Hold on. Let me put here. You're a UPC user?
Yep.
There you go.
What's that? It's mine here. So what you're seeing, okay, they can see it up here. This is EDDM only. So this map basically is showing you.
There you go.
There. You put the address in.
Put it a little bit bigger for the people online to see. There you go. And then there you go.
So basically, they're showing you a mile radius from this address. So let me zoom out. Yeah, zoom it out a little bit. Okay. So what you're seeing here is when I go over this, you're going to see pink. Pink is just showing you different routes. And if you notice, it says residential, business, total. It has certain numbers. So when I go over a route, it shows you, let me get rid of the businesses. It shows you how many residential deliveries are in that area. It's not telling you single family homes. It's not telling you apartments. It's just, it's considered residential deliveries. So if you know your areas, especially stuff you farm, you might know, okay, that's all homes. You could kind of tell by numbers, like most residential areas, it's 500, 700 homes, bigger areas, 200. When you start seeing thousands, usually there's condos in there. So again, let's go. So the address that he did is this route right here. Let me click it. So everything in blue now goes to here. It's 673 residential deliveries. The price, and this is where I like to mention the price, because I've done this and I have people with a budget and they say, oh, it's great. It's $166. That's the price, just the postage. It's still a good price. I mean, considering postage is 78 cents a piece. So you're getting about 25 cents a piece to send these out. The only other costs are the printing, and then for us to do everything.
And let me add on that. When the print, and this is why I like Jason. And guys, listen, Jason's here. He can do it all over the nation. But either way, you may say, hey, I want to do it myself. And you can reach out to Jason and say, hey, I want to print out 2,500 of this flyer and I'm going to do it myself. That's going to be the first and last time you ever do it. Because I did it one time and I was like, oh, let me see if I'm cost conscious. I'll just buy the 2,500 postage. You got to go get 100 of these, print out a paper, put it on it, rubber band it. And if it's 2,500, you have 25 sacks. You got to go to a post office. You got to hand it to them. You know the lines in the post office. I'd rather Jason do that, not me. All right. So
it's funny you say it. So 80%, and I put it out there, everyone's budget's different, everyone's time's different. So 80% have us do everything. I mean, I do this for Zoo Miami, I do it for restaurant companies. Everyone that does it themselves, unless it's a small mailing, it does get tedious. It's not rocket science, it's just tedious, the process, and you have to do it right, otherwise they'll reject it. So, but again, I will share pricing on both. So like this route here, I think we picked a couple. You could basically on your budget, you can pick one route. So they'll take it 673. So this route, 673 pieces. But say you had a bigger budget and you wanted to add some of the routes, and you see like this route's 601, this route's 712. In areas that are really affluent where the houses are huge, the routes could be 213. So if he just wanted to do this one route, 673 homes on a 9 by 6.25 postcard, which is the standard, and these are decent sizes. Yeah, they're decent sizes. Some people go bigger. You would pay, this is 9 inches by 6.25. So this with postage and everything is 64 cents a piece. That includes the 25 cents postage, the printing. You don't touch it. That's us doing everything. The other piece of the good thing about EDDM, so you can go, let me grab that bigger piece. EDDM is different than bulk mailing. So like this piece, you still only pay 25 cents a piece in postage. The rate for everything's a little more because of the printing, but the actual postage doesn't change. If you did this with a mailing list, the USPS doubles the postage. So on mailing list, you can go 6 by 11, which is this, at the same discounted postal rate. So EDDM, you could pretty much use any size. This is the minimum, but you can use any size and you'll get the postage. Again, the difference is it's a little more per piece on the actual printing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can I an actual address and then can you tell me
Sure.
like what it would be? And do you charge a design fee or anything like that?
So we have templates. Here's the thing. I'm very honest. You know, I try to keep the final price down. So I have some people that send me their designs. I have some companies that send me their designs. I do this. You know, lifestyle is the number one in my heart, but I do this for a lot of people. So some have marketing departments that they send it. Canva, a lot of agents. We do have templates online, and we charge $25 if you pick a template. We'll design it for you, but you pick it. Give my designer the information. There's about 40 different ones.
Yeah, you have
put it
a ton
together.
of them in there.
Yeah.
But like, let's just say ultimately you wanted to do some special type of thing. It's like $25 for you to design or change to
So I
one.
want to just keep them very simple, just keep what you have.
If you, and that's another thing. So if you picked one of our templates and you're like, that's the one I like, you might pay to set up the one time and then that's it. Like I don't nickel and dime my clients. I won't charge you to change an address and to change. If it's the only time we really charge design is when we have to kind of go in there and do it from scratch. So we do have a lot of templates. And then again, agents, a lot of them are hands-on. They'll go into Canva. Some of the agents like our templates but they want to do it on their own. I'll send you the Canva template. I really, that part of it, I'm not trying to make money on. I just want to get the file. Where this works quick is when you get the design and you go. You know, when clients are dragging the feed and changing things and it's just listed, you know, so we can do it as quick as you guys. Once I get everything, 2 days it's printed in the post office next business day. So it's 2 to 3 business days it'll be printed once it's approved, and then it goes to the post office the next business day. Once it gets there, I can tell you, and I'm really good about sharing paperwork. You know, we all want to cover ourselves. So I can tell you, here's the paperwork. Here's when we got to the post office. I've had post office delivered the same day. I'll drop it in the morning, the same day to the client's house. I have it 2 days. I have it 3 days. All depends if it's, you know, election. So I can tell you when it gets to the post office, but there's no guarantee of how many days from the post office. The average is about 3. Again, time of the year, post office. But yeah, the actual getting it printed and to them is pretty quick. So what's your?
Oh, no, but you know what? Let's do it after. That way I can keep the Zoom lower, and that way we're gonna put the address on the Zoom.
Okay.
Can I put that EDM? Hold on, let me go and I'm gonna put Jason. So guys, just to recap it, right? Because I know the mind of a realtor. So no, and Jason is pretty much a realtor in the sense of, but it is an amazing thing. Does this get commercial addresses too?
You can, and what I'll tell you, because you could go residential and business.
Okay.
I will tell you, don't do business addresses, and this is why. They're supposed to deliver it to business addresses,
But they don't.
the carriers are so kind of used to just doing residential. Whatever you pay for the businesses, even though they should. I mean, I'm telling you this just out of 10 years of experience. A lot of them don't. Yeah, I had a whole one where I highlighted everything business and residential for the whole the whole island of Key Biscayne. Not one business got it. Luckily, the guy went with me and saw it, and they were just sitting there. And the guy's like, "Oh, I had extra." He goes, "Yeah, you didn't deliver it to businesses."
Another thing, and where you're gonna go to your neighborhood, a lot of times. So guys, when I do my EDDM, and sometimes, you know, I tell an agent, I always pick where the house is at. But sometimes this is a strategy as well. Note this, everyone. Sometimes people go, let's just say you had $2,000 in your budget to do EDDM. So sometimes what people do, they'll click that right now and say, okay, oh, it's only $166. And then they'll go, let me add more. Boom. I add this one. 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 And I add this one. Now they're saying, okay, now it's 5,000 pieces. Oh, it's only $1,300 plus the printing. You'll have the charge of the print, whatever, how many, 5,000 pieces, whatever the charge is. A lot of times people think that it is better to go wider and hit more homes. So if I had $2,000, and you're asking my advice, I would say, hey, keep it in your farm. Maybe do two, like where you might click this off and you hit the neighborhood next to it, but you hit the neighbor. Let me click one off so you guys can see. I'm gonna click that one off.
Yeah, I always give you my recommendation too. I mean, I'm a salesperson, but I'm not here. I'm here for long-term relationships. So when I see that, yeah, am I going to make more money on a huge mailing? But like George said, it's not going to pay off in the long run unless you're doing that consistently over and over and over. But yeah, be wise with your budget. It's better to be seen month.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to tell you. So I'll put a statistical piece, and you can chat GPT it. So you might have gone, hey, now it's 1,000 pieces and it's 260. And okay, figure it'll be like $500 in EDM with the printing and him doing the labor. I would rather you mail 4 times to those same houses than you go all of North Miami Beach, all the way to Aventura, and you hit up every house. Now, it could work, so don't trust me, because it's going to work. But remember, the first one, you could get 3 calls. There's people that get their first listing off it. But if you wanted to say, I want to maximize my $2,000, hit the same neighborhood 4 times over. Because figure is like an average of like 400, like 350 to 600, depending on how many homes. Because it might be 350 because that neighborhood is just luxury homes and there's only 300 homes. Here in that range, there's 1,056 homes. Maybe you go to Miami Beach and there's only 100 homes. So there's less to hit. Hit it 4 times. Because remember, to re-put that point, if you got here late, first one might go to the junk. Second one, they look at it, they might review it. Okay, cool. This is now a month later. The next one, another month, they're like, man, this guy's consistent. Or they reach me at the right time. This person just had a kid. This person just got a raise. And then now you got them at the right time. So it's better to be consistent to the same farm. Now, if you want to find out, and this is a cool way, if you want to find out, and maybe I'll do a class on just call rail because it's going to take me too long. What you could do, which I've done in the past, is maybe you wanted all these things, everybody on the Zoom, maybe I wanted to put this on EDM with a different cell phone number, this a different cell phone number, this a different cell phone number, this a different cell phone number with call rail, and then I send the $2,000, and then I look, I got 3 calls on the first zone, I got 0 calls on this zone, I got 0 on this one, this one gave me 1. Okay, so now going forward, I'm gonna only hit the ones that gave me a phone call because the other ones didn't click with me. So that's how you do a trial basis, and then you get those 2. Maybe you might want to do a blanket huge one, so you can see who calls you. And on call rail, you set up a different number on the number and you know who called you. So then now you're like, perfect. I found my farm and I want to work this neighborhood. And now I'm just going to use my EDDMS. So that's a great strategy to use that I've used in the past. What?
So with this mailers, do you have like, for some of for the newer technology clients, do you have like a thing where they can scan
QR code
where it goes back to to this person?
Great question.
Or
right here, guys, this is the cool thing. Nowadays, you want let me stop the screen share so you guys can see me. Nowadays, you want this, make me spotlight for now. You're gonna scan this. So when I get in there, it has a social media page, it has the website. You could tailor it that it goes to a special website for your farm. You make a website, and that's would take you, $100 to create a website just for the EDDM. It's showing how I can list your home. You put a process, you put a YouTube link. Hey, thank you for scanning my EDDM. And it has your Instagram, your Facebook, all that stuff. So definitely all of them, you're going to want to do it. Now, you don't have to do it because sometimes when you tell people to do EDDM, it's super simple just to do it without it. And you're like, all right, let me just test this out. But once you start becoming a pro, you want this. And you could always put it like, scan this here and I'll give you a home value. Or you could say, I'll give you a free seller's report of what your value of your house is by just scanning here. Another great thing about it tracks everybody who scans it. So great question. Great question. So make sure you guys use the QR code. Oh, it looks like I'm in the matrix with my screen back there.
QR codes. They can get them on their own.
Yeah. You guys, there's a million of those.
I get them from the agents because sometimes there's a QR code for just listed and it just goes to that listing. So the QR codes, I rely on the agents, but usually you guys have.
Yeah, you guys would want to. You don't want to rely on him to do it. You're gonna want to put it. But I would always do that QR code when it scans a welcome video. Thank you so much for trusting me. Da da da. Put your contact info. If you want the fee sellers report or the buyer's guide, you want to have a buyer's guide. And guys, this is like if you're taking this business, always take it to the next level. So yes, do the QR code if you can. But if you just want to test this out, you just listed a property today, and you're like, I got to do this EDDM. Well, I think there's chats. Been getting a lot of questions. How many times a month, Laura? I'll say once a month is great. Um, what else? What else? Is there a website we can see the templates? Yes. Do we have Jason? What is
I
it?
don't know if you want to pull it up. So if you
I
go to
already
real-
Okay,
posted
hold
it
on.
up.
Oh, you already did? All right, let me click it.
Realtorprint.com.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna click it so I can share my
And I
screen.
put Jason's number there.
Oh, thank you, brother. Hold on, let me share the screen, guys. There you go.
Okay.
You can scroll. There you go.
Okay. So obviously there's a lot of categories. The mailings are here.
Realtorprint.com, guys.
Yeah. If mailings are here, it's postcard mailings, and then that's where you'll see the templates. And there's a ton of templates. And listen, use ChatGPT if you want. A lot of these have text and writing in it that most agents are fine with. If you want to make it your own, it should be on top.
Oh, it's on top.
Yeah. So yeah, you can do any of our templates, but you know when we customize it, if you want this black or if you want that green, if you want to say something else, so just send the ingredients and we basically cook it. These are just to give you a guide of what kind of look you want. There's a lot of different ones. So if you want this but black, it's fine. So the girl that handles these for me, you fill out everything. It even asks you color preferences. You'll see it before anything happens.
Yeah, Jason will give you a proof.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll never print without a proof.
All right, so let me wrap this up. That way I want to.
The price, just so it's.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is important. So this is the pricing sheet, and you can see, so I do it anywhere out of Florida. Florida is a little cheaper because of the rates I get. Thanks. So this basically shows you, and I'll explain it real quick. Top part is EDDM, which is cheaper per piece. The bottom is bulk mail, which basically means a mailing list. We can do both. So on EDDM, if you're hitting a condo and you want to hit one condo, but the EDDM route has maybe 5 condos, the EDDM would be expensive. You'd have to hit, say, 2,200 pieces when a building has 500. So that's when you could do a mailing list, and I could help you generate mailing lists. I just had an agent, he did Key Biscayne, and he wanted to do everything Key Biscayne, which is $3 million or more appraised. So you can do that kind of stuff with a mailing list. And again, I can help you on how to get that data. I just want to explain the differences because it is more for a mailing list, but it works. For some cases.
And let me talk to you guys, and I'll leave this at this point because I wanted to keep this training short and sweet so we can put it up there. Direct mail is one thing. It's like blanket mail. It's going to be great because everybody gets exposure. But you're ultimately what our more experienced, Omi can even tell you, if Omi gets you a list of everybody who's on list pending or in pre-foreclosure, now you could give them a bulk of addresses, everything, prop stream. You could use any, and guys, I'm talking about Florida. PropStream will work in all the states, but like, let's just say IMAP. I could say, hey, I want all the, you could go on PropStream and say, I wanted to create a mailer for people with 50% equity on their home. And the mailer would be, hey, you have 50% equity in your home. Why don't you do a cash out refi and help you get your next investment property or your next property? And now you give them a specific list. It's a little bit more costly. So now you're doing targeting. You could go to divorcees. You could go to elderly. You could go to so many different things, niches. That's where you're going to like, the people always say the money's in the niches, right? So make sure you guys do it. Guys on the Zoom, I wanted to keep it brief.